Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to fold some paper. So I've got, again, 3 pieces of paper, 1, 2, 3. I probably only really need 2. If you look at slide 47, it tells you to start with a rectangular piece of paper. So let me start with a rectangular piece of paper. Excuse me, I'm going to just reach across you for a minute. So if we start with a rectangular piece of paper, you're going to take one of these corners, and what you're going to do is try to make this into a square. So you're going to take that corner and take it all the way over to that long edge. So you make a nice pointy point. It has to be a pointy point. And then those edges need to match up exactly, not just parallel, but sitting on top of each other. A nice pointy point, and then crisp that edge. Make sure you push it down really nice and tight. Now you've got an equal or an isosceles right triangle, a right angle here. These 2 pointy points are exactly the same. You should have a rectangle. The 2 long sides and the 2 short sides should be exactly congruent. And you're going to slice that rectangle off. That's how I got these 2 square pieces of paper. So my square pieces of paper are exactly this square part of the rectangle. Okay? Once you get your 2 square pieces of paper, make sure those are 2 isosceles right triangles. You're going to take your paper, you're going to fold it in half. And then you're going to fold it in half one more time. Okay, make sure all the corners match up. Mine aren't exact. You want to make it as exact as possible. Then you're going to fold it the other direction. So you're going to fold it in half. And I would do one at a time. Mine's already folded, so it's folding a little more easily. You're going to want to fold them one at a time. And then you fold them in half this way. Okay? When you open them up, you're going to have 16 spaces. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4. Your perfect square is 4 by 4 or 16, which is a perfect square. Once you do that, you can trace all of those lines and follow the map, follow the directions on slide, I think it's 48. My computer went to sleep. You're going to make a vertical line here. This piece, once you trim it, is going to make your triangular prism. You're going to make almost like a cross here. So you're going to cut out those 2 pieces. You're going to cut out these 2 pieces. It's going to have 1, 2, 3, like a head and 2 arms, and then a double line for a foot. That's going to fold into your rectangular prism. And then you're going to take that 3rd piece of paper and you're going to do your pyramid. So take one of your squares that's in the middle and then find the midpoint of each of the north, south, east, and west squares. Find the midpoint there and make another equal or another isosceles triangle. Okay, all 4 of these triangles need to be congruent. They need to be exactly the same. Then you're going to cut all of those out. So you're going to cut those nets out, and I'm going to cut them out for myself too, just so that we can be clear. So I'm going to cut out this triangular prism net. I'm going to cut out these arms, and you can do this at the same time. You don't even have to pause the video, or you could pause the video if you want. Cut out the arms of my rectangular prism. Cut out what I always think is the legs because it's a little bit longer. This is not the only rectangular prism net that you can make, by the way. And then we're going to throw all of those pieces away. We want to keep the rectangular prism, keep the triangular prism, triangular, rectangular. I've got an extra piece of paper over here. And then my pyramid base. You can see mine's not perfect. Actually, I'm going to cut this one out. I have 2 of them because I think my first one wasn't very perfect, so I made another one. These are not vertical angles, by the way. These 2 things here, they're not vertical because they're not 2 intersecting lines. It's actually 4 intersecting lines. Kind of makes a butterfly, not a straight line. So we're going to cut all of those. The more perfect they are, the more congruent these triangles are, the better off you're going to be. So you want to cut those out super carefully. Draw them super carefully. Use a ruler if you have one. So here we've got the rectangular prism, we've got the triangular prism, and we've got the pyramid. So how do they all go together? We used 6 squares in order to make the rectangular prism, and it's going to fold up kind of like this. Okay, and you're going to have to tape all of those pieces together. Mine got a little squished, so it's a little crazy looking, but tape all those pieces together, and you've got a perfect 2" by 2" by 2" square. And then we can take the triangular prism. We've got 4 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, but triangular prisms only have 3 faces, 1, 2, 3. Notice that the rectangular or the square, because this is a special rectangular prism, it's a square prism, have a top and a bottom. This is going to be surface area. This one is only lateral area because it doesn't have a bottom. I didn't actually make the 2 triangles that go to the top and the bottom. So because we've got 3 sides on a triangle, we only need 3 of these sections. This is going to be the easiest one to tape because 2 of them are going to overlap. Okay, so 2 of your sections are going to overlap, and you're just going to tape them like that. Okay, so we've got our rectangular prism, we've got our triangular prism, and then the pyramid. The pyramid has that square base. So we're going to keep that square base, and we're going to put those triangles and fold them up to the top. And then you're just gonna, hopefully they will all meet at just the same spot because they have to be congruent for all of those lateral edges. Yes, that's the same as with the cones, all those lateral edges to meet. So you wanna tape that super carefully. This is the hardest one to tape for sure. Okay, that's gonna take us through slides 47, 48, I think, and I'll meet you on the next page.